Over 44 million Americans rent their homes, and if you're one of them, chances are you're leaving hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on the table every year. Not because of a shady TikTok hack, but because of IRS Publication 587, a little-known section of the tax code that allows renters to deduct a portion of their rent, utilities, and even renter's insurance. The core problem is rooted in IRS Topic 414. Landlords can deduct your rent payments as a business expense, saving $47 billion in 2022 alone, while renters get nothing in return. But there's a fix. IRS Form 8829, Section B allows remote workers, even those working from home just 1 day a week, to deduct a percentage of their housing costs legally. This isn't some loophole for the wealthy or the self-employed. It's federal tax law buried deep within employee guidelines, and it's time we decoded it. Let's look at the numbers. A renter paying $1,800 per month in rent and $200 in utilities with a 60-square-foot home office, 10% of a 600-square-foot apartment, can deduct $200 per month, which adds up to $2,400 annually. At a 22% tax rate, that's a $528 refund. A higher-cost renter with $2,500 per month rent and $300 utilities using 8% of their 1,500-square-foot apartment for work could deduct $224 per month, saving $860 annually. Even a student paying $1,200 per month in rent and $150 in utilities who works remotely 2 days per week at a 40-square-foot desk, 13% of a 300-square-foot studio, could deduct $175.50 per month, or $2,106 per year, which equates to $463 saved at the same tax rate. The IRS offers 2 ways to claim this deduction. The simplified method lets you write off $5 per square foot, up to 300 square feet, a maximum of $1,500 per year with 0 receipts needed. Alternatively, the actual expenses method allows you to deduct a percentage of your rent, utilities, renter's insurance, and even depreciation on your office furniture. For example, a $1,000 desk used 10% for work can be depreciated over 7 years for an additional $14 per year deduction. But to qualify, you must meet 2 conditions. You must work remotely at least once per week, and your employer cannot reimburse you for that workspace. Review your employment agreement. Section 3C typically clarifies this. The IRS cross-references these details during audits, so documentation matters. Start by measuring your home office. 6 feet x 10 is 60 square feet. Only claim the area used exclusively for work and take time-stamped photos. Choose a deduction method and file Form 8829, lines 1 to 7, and attach it to Schedule 1 of Form 1040. Save lease agreements showing total square footage, plus utility and insurance bills. To audit-proof your claim, follow 5 strict IRS rules. Exclusive use, no gaming or Netflix at the desk. Regular use, at least 8 hours per week. Employer requirement, must be mandated or allowed in writing. No double dipping, no reimbursement, and workspace size under 300 square feet, to avoid algorithmic audit triggers. Let's crush the myths. No, this isn't just for freelancers. Publication 587 confirms employees qualify. No, you don't need a separate room. Desks in corners and closets have passed audits. No, it's not too much hassle. $528 saved for 15 minutes of paperwork equals a $2,100 per hour ROI. Yes, California and New York allow it, but Pennsylvania and Texas don't. And yes, students with remote jobs like tutoring can qualify. Even gig workers qualify, but they file with Schedule C, not Form 8829. Want to boost your deductions? Include the portion of renter's insurance covering work gear, like a $200 per year policy covering a $1,500 laptop in a 10% workspace equals a $20 deduction. For internet, deduct up to 40% if that's the amount used for work. Hybrid workers can track remote days with apps like Toggle. Working 2 out of 7 days per week means you can deduct 28.5% of monthly expenses. Free tools in the description include a renter's deduction calculator, a 10-point IRS audit checklist, and a state-by-state law map. If you get audited, respond within 30 days with timestamped workspace photos, a lease showing square footage, your employer's remote work policy, and utility bills that align with your claim. Mistakes mean repaying deductions plus 20% penalties, but accurate records make audits low risk. So here's your action plan. Measure your workspace tonight, download the calculator, save your receipts in a 2024 taxes folder, and file Form 8829 this season. Drop a comment with your city, and I'll reply with your state's rules. Next week, we're diving into IRS Topic 509, how to deduct security deposits and renters insurance as business expenses. Subscribe now. This is Finance for the 44 Million.